Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is David Goulet from Dimensional Transitions, again with PEMF and Rifing for everyone. Today, we're going to discuss Rifing using the Falcon System developed by Dimensional Transitions. And you can see that and follow us through at dimensional-transitions.com. And if you look up, you will find on the top of the menu, I'll show you here, you'll find, whoops, no, wrong one here. You'll find in the menu, place where it says Falcon, and if you go right down, click on Healing, that will show up. Now, you'll notice you have a menu up here. We're just going to focus on Rife Healing. And I'm going to start with you with explaining what Rife Healing is. Rife was Dr. Roll Rife was someone who had done some research of how different frequencies affected organisms. He worked with cancer, he worked with parasites, bacteria, viruses, different human cells, and he wanted to find out how frequencies affect that. Now, frequencies is a pulse of energy that pulses at a specific rate. And that rate is called hertz, and it means the number of pulse per second, okay? So the higher the value of hertz, the faster the pulse is. Now, when we are talking about rifing, we are talking about a series of frequencies that Dr. Rife found that are beneficial for different type of ailments. And all that was saved in a database that anyone can use to see what could possibly help them with the situations they are dealing with. Now over here, to look at the database, you go over here where it says select an option, just click on that down arrow there, and you will see there is a list of hundreds and hundreds and thousands of different ailments that you can select and see what the different frequencies were used for those ailments. If you want a quick way of finding things, you can just put in things like neck, and you will see 3 possible frequency combinations for that type of ailment. Now, if you want to choose quick in the neck, you just click on that, and that will save that set of frequencies ready for you to use. Now, the next step is to determine how long you want each one of those frequencies to play with. We call that a pulse. So if one note plays for 1 second, we say that a pulse has a value of 1. If you want to change that, you can change that, and let's say instead we want it for 3 seconds instead of 1. So you want to change that pulse. And suppose you want to have it play for 15 minutes instead of 1 minute. That means that it's going to just repeat the process over and over and over until 15 minutes are up. Now, at this point, you have pretty much everything set. They're almost ready to start playing. We haven't really done much. All you did is you selected the set of frequencies that you were interested in. You set the pulse size and the time. This wave type, you can leave it sine wave for all times, but you can go to square, triangle, and sawtooth. They're just a different pitch in that pulse. But for the most part, stick with sine. And once you've made that selection, what you're going to do is you said, okay, now I have everything I need to select. You're going to set frequency. And what happens here is, 1, the frequencies that are associated with crink in the neck now show up at the bottom, and 727, 787, 880, and 5000 are the frequencies. The colon and 3 represent 3 seconds for each one of those frequencies. And up here where it says 12, what that means is it's going to repeat those 4 frequencies for 12 times, and that approximately will bring it somewhere around 15 minutes. For some reason that seems a little bit off, but we're going to go with that for right now. So once you have all this, you select the frequencies, you have the time, the pulse size, and play time set. The only thing left that you need to do is to hit play frequency. And what you will see is the total time it's going to play. And you can see that every 3 seconds, this value is changed. And now it's going to repeat again, 727, 787, 880, and 500. Okay. Now, if you want to save that information, I'm going to clear that for a second. If you have something you want to save, okay, what you want to do is you want to, first of all, particularly if you're working on the web, you want to save it under a particular name. I usually use the email address, if you're on the web, because you want to separate yours from everybody else who's using the web. If you have a standalone system, you can just use any word you want to make up, as long as you remember what it is. What that is going to enable you is, if you're creating a new frequency on your own and you want to save that instead of always doing your search or remember what the numbers are, you can save it, and every time you put the email information in, that will be that'll come right up. Now, for no email, this 5 word was accidentally saved, and someone forgot to put the email. Me. But let's. I'm going to put my name here, and I've already showed you how to choose database. So before we say that, we're going to go through the second process of how to choose your own frequencies. Now over here, these are common frequencies that a lot of people use. You'll find them on YouTube. These are chakra frequencies and solfeggio tones. Those of you who understand the terminology and those types of energies, you'll recognize these. But each one of these has a set of frequencies and an associated word, which those frequencies are for. Now, in this case here, suppose I wanted to do 141.396, and I want to add some frequencies that aren't there yet. So I'm going to do 773 and 234. Okay. Now I have 4 frequencies there. We're going to do the same thing. Make sure you have your pulse and your playtime set first. Once you have that, you set frequency, and now you see those frequencies appear at the bottom. Now, because you have your email value in there, what you're going to do is we're going to say this. I'm just going to call it test 1 for a file name for that. Hit save. When that does, you can see test 1 shows up here. Now, I'm just going to clear everything just to show you what happens. If you first come in here and you click test 1, bang, it's right there, all set up. And the only thing you need to do later is execute. So you hit play, and you'll see the 15-minute time is set, and the values are changing every 3 seconds, and it's going to keep on doing the same thing as what we did when we chose the database. Okay. Now I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to show you one other function here. In this case, we showed it playing 1 frequency at a time. You can, at least for the sound frequencies that come off the computer, play multiple frequencies at the same time. In order to do that, you want to select the combo as one list. So if we want to play, let's say I'll choose 3 of these. Now, even though this says pulse size 3 seconds and 15 minutes, take into consideration that if you hit the combine at 1, it's going to combine everything at 1, and you won't hear them individually. Now, they're each playing, all 3 will play at the same time for 3 seconds, and it's going to play over and over and over. So you won't hear a break in between. So here's what this is going to sound like. Now, some other features here, I'm just going to turn this off here. Some other features here, you can change the pitch of a wave by choosing sine, square, triangle, sawtooth. This is good only on this for the sound output. It doesn't do anything to the signal generator. And what it does, it just changes the pitch, so the tone, the frequency is the same, but it sounds a little different, okay? And get my cat making this noise here. Sorry about that. So, stick with sine. And the last feature I want to talk about is scalar. Now, scalar energy is different from the regular energy you have. It's the same frequency that interact each other, and they create a unique type of energy called scalar energy. If you want to use that function, I would suggest do a little research on scalar energy so you can understand what it's really all about. It's a much stronger energy pulse, but it can only be used when the frequency is played 1 at a time. In order to do that, you just click it on, and then you can click it off. So there you have it. One last thing that I did not cover here is the signal generator. Now, this is what a signal generator looks like. Okay. Now, this is by Coolatron. There's one that is 1/3 the size of this. I suggest if you're going to purchase one, purchase that one. And the signal generator allows you to expand the frequency range. Remember, the max frequency range from your computer on the sound card is 20,000 hertz. With a signal generator, you go to 60 megahertz. That's like, I don't know, 30 times more. And you need a signal generator if you want to work with sound card, with parasites, with viruses. All those require a signal generator, and they go for about $150 to $200. Now, when you use a signal generator, you can use it for sound, but basically, if you're going to use it for other purposes, you want to have what's called PEMF devices. This is a ring which is used, and it's attached to the signal generator, that sends out a magnetic impulse that penetrates through your body, so it sends the energy impulse that way. I also provide mats. Spooky 2 also offers many accessories that work well with the signal generator, so you can use those accessories if you want to also. Now, one thing I recommend is this book here, Frequencies of Rifing, by Marcello Allegretti. And inside this book is thousands of remedies for different ailments, much more than what you see on the website. And I would suggest that if you get this, you get the Kindle version. The thing is, the Kindle version is you can look up what you need the same way you did on the website. If you have to look something up in this book, it's not organized as nicely and you can't get to it the same way you would if you were using the database. So if you're going in that direction, definitely get the Kindle version of the book. And then when you do a lookup, all you have to do is you can almost just basically cut and paste, and you would paste it right up in this area and then save it. You can look it up through this database, but if you don't find it, go to that book. That book is going to have 20 times more information than what I have on the site. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you very much for listening, and stay tuned later on for part 3 of PEMF and Rifing for Everyone, where we will talk about learning to do a frequency sweep in order to find what frequencies are best for you. Have a good day from Dimensional Transitions, and the website is dimensional-transitions.com. Thank you.